Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. Either way, we got a fun one for you today. We got some stories on Elon Musk. Alright, so he made a big deal on his Twitter page that, oh, guess what? 2 p.m. on Thursday in California, there's going to be some big Tesla news. I was thinking it was going to be some crazy, maybe, is he finally going to tell us he made a flying car? Is he finally going to tell us that the Tesla Roadster's secret mission was to save Tony Stark and bring him back to Earth? I don't know what the mission was. What's he going to tell me? Is he joining the Space Force? Can he finally go to Mars? Is the Boring Company completed? Can we get solar panels everywhere around the world? No. The news was you can now no longer buy Teslas in stores. Okay, I don't think that one's a positive. But I think the positive one was that you can now buy the Model 3 with less range and a smaller battery for cheaper. Congratulations, Elon Musk. You did it. You put a smaller battery into the exact same car. I'm really greatly happy for that one. Oh, you might be able to do autonomous driving. That's cool. That's great and everything. Eventually, it's an extra feature though, so don't worry about that one. But, that's something, I guess. I'm really happy about that. Not really. Come on, seriously, you make this whole big debacle over that. I guess that's kind of it's kind of fitting. This whole company and stock is kind of one big giant spectacle for the world to see. And that's what this feels like. So let me read a couple reports, then I'm going to go over some things, and we're going to get into the stock a little bit. So strap in, get ready, get some popcorn, do what you got to do. So the first article reads, Tesla to close retail stores, offer cheaper Model 3 in hope of repaying $1 billion in debt. Electric car maker Tesla has announced a $35,000 version of its Model 3 sedan and a switch to online-only sales in hopes of cutting costs while boosting demand and stock price before having to repay nearly $1 billion in debt. Oh, side note, he's going to have to repay $920 million in debt. His stock price did not close above $359.87. Whoops. Anyways, to achieve these prices while remaining financially stable, Tesla is shifting sales worldwide to online only. You can now buy Tesla in North America via your phone in about 1 minute, and that capability will soon be extended worldwide. The company announced in a blog post on Thursday afternoon. The new $35,000 version of the Model 3 will have a top speed of 130 miles per hour, or 209 kilometers, and accelerate from 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds with a range of 220 miles. Delivery of the budget model will take 2 to 4 weeks. For a standard Range Plus model with a 240-mile range, slightly higher speed and acceleration, and fancier interiors, customers can pay $2,000 more, a 6% higher price for 9% more in features, as the company put it. Wow, what a bargain. The switch to online sales is going to mean layoffs and closures of Tesla's retail stores at upscale shopping centers. But the company hopes to reduce overhead to break even in the first quarter of 2019. CEO Elon Musk told investors on a conference call Thursday that the company does not expect to be profitable in Q1, but will return to profitability in the near second quarter, per CNBC. Tesla also announced it was developing a Model Y SUV that would begin production in 2020 and starting to build a factory in Shanghai, hoping to solve the problem of delivering vehicles in China. Musk reportedly blamed delivery problems on the expiration of a U.S. tax credit for some of the company's woes. A federal tax credit for Tesla buyers started to expire last month, raising the price of the cars by almost $4,000. That's pretty much it for that article. The next article talks about their debt payment. This one's from CNBC. It says Tesla faces a cash crunch with a $920 million debt payment due Friday. So on Friday, close to $1 billion in debt comes due for Tesla, an obligation that will wipe out about a quarter of the company's cash. According to regulatory filings, Tesla has $920 convertible senior notes set to expire on March 1st at a conversion price of $359.87 per share. Tesla stock hasn't traded above $359 for weeks and closed Tuesday at $297.86. Well, it's above that now. If the shares were valued at the conversion price, the bonds could convert into Tesla stock, and Tesla wouldn't need to pay the debt in cash. But in the absence of major share rally this week, the electric vehicle car maker will have to pay the debt. And we'll skip to this part here. It says, if March doesn't go gangbusters for Tesla, they are in real trouble, especially without raising, said Braun, who worked as a portfolio manager for Citadel, SAC, and SharpPoint. Brown added that he doesn't think the company can raise while CEO Elon Musk clashes with the SEC. On Monday, the SEC asked the federal court to hold Musk into contempt for violating an agreement the parties struck last year over Musk's Twitter use. Now I'm going to just read you the last part of this article here because The rest of the stuff is kind of boring, but in the last quarter of 2018, Tesla rolled a $180 million SolarCity debt forward first to January and then to April 2019, opting to pay a higher interest rate at a later date. Additionally, letters of credit rose 53% against Tesla in the second half of last year. Letters of credit are generally taken out by vendors who aren't sure if a customer can pay their bill in full or on time. Tesla says in the risk factors sections of its annual report every year that it's negotiating with existing suppliers for cost reductions. The company also warns investors that if we are unsuccessful in our efforts to control and reduce supplier costs, our operating results will suffer. In January, Tesla implemented a massive restructuring, laying off workers and reducing its production of older, higher-priced Model S and X vehicles to focus on making Model 3 electric sedans for European consumers. Okay, so that's all fine. I feel like we got all the news out of the way. By the way, I'm going to say I am a fan of Elon Musk. If you don't believe me, I bought his book a while back, okay? So it's not like I'm hating on the guy. I think he's a genius. That was a really good book. I suggest you read it. But anyways, going back to the topic at hand. Tesla. Now I wrote some issues on the board, so let's go over it. So first off, like and subscribe. That's the first thing you should do. So like, subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, let's get into it. So cash issues. Tesla has had cash issues since the beginning of time. There were dinosaurs and there was Tesla cash issues, okay? Not much has changed. So with them paying their debt at about $920 million, they're going to lose a third of their cash pile, okay? So they're going to have somewhere around the neighborhood of $2.3-ish billion, all right? Not a great number, but somewhat sustainable, I guess. I'm guessing why they made these new Model 3s with the smaller battery is so they can get a lot of new orders is what they're hoping, and they can kind of replenish their cash pile. That's just my guess, but I think I'm right on that one. I don't want to talk too much about the cash problems. I want to talk more about these two over here. So I'm going to do these ones a little quicker because these two I think are more important than these ones. The next one is Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk is the CEO. He's a great guy, genius. I personally think he's phenomenal, right? And I also think he's one of the worst things to happen to this company at the same time. And that is because I firmly believe the stock would be well over the 360 mark if he never did the 420 tweet and made the SEC thing, and now they're holding him in contempt and all this other stuff, and he had to step down and whatnot. Anyways, it's just, and sending emails really late at night to employees saying like times are tough. You don't do that, man. You just don't do that. Like, this doesn't put your company in a bright light, You're putting a very negative spotlight on yourself and your company. Just don't do that. I think, in a way, less Elon Musk to the public with Tesla is better, okay? If he didn't have a Twitter account or an email, I think this stock would do really well. It's just, I know he's a great guy and he'll probably turn this around. Just, this is kind of an issue with Tesla. Now, the other two are much more important. The other two are service and quality. Okay, the service is when you go buy a Tesla, the service you are getting from them. Okay, you go bring your car in, the service they are going to give you. Now, these two are huge issues, okay? These two are going to go back to, if they have cash issues, then their service and quality will suffer dramatically, okay? So, with service, when you're buying a $35,000 car, I guess you don't really expect the greatest service ever, but when you're, say, buying a $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 car like the Model S, Model X, and even the Tesla Roadster, which is well over those prices at more like $250,000, you better provide some top-notch service. Tesla is not one of those companies. From everything I've read, seen online, Tesla does not provide that. I don't know anyone who owns a Tesla, so I don't have any first-hand experience with this, but going on YouTube and reading reviews, you kind of get an idea that the people tend to really love the car, but it has issues. When you're a brand new company, you have nothing to go off of other than you're cool, okay? And that's great, but there were other car companies that were cool and failed. Don't believe me? Fisker Karma. Google it. They're now back as Karma, but Fisker, long gone, all right? The car basically looks the same, just 5 years newer. That company didn't do so well. It's a whole debacle with that company. Next one. Have you ever seen the movie Back to the Future? Did you see the car in it? It's called the DeLorean, made by John DeLorean, okay? Interesting story with that guy and everything, but that's a story for another day. That car was only around for 1 year. That car bankrupted that company, and that was the only car they produced. So yes, cool cars can and do end. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the story. Now Tesla is much older than both of those companies, but I mean they have nothing on, say, like a Ford, a GM, Audi. None of those companies. And those companies all offer top-notch service and quality. Now quality. Quality is by far one of the biggest issues I think Tesla is going to have. As they're ramping up all their production, they are bound to skip on a few things. And from what I've seen online, read comments, there was a guy who worked at Tesla, and he said that they basically skipped over so many things. Let me just read you a couple of reviews I found online. Okay. So I went to this website called Consumer Affairs, where Tesla has a 2-star rating based on 63 ratings submitted in the last year. There's a ton of them. I'm not going to read you all of them. I'll just post some up. I bought a Tesla Model 3 three months ago, and its screen crashes several times daily in the first week. It took us 3 service appointments right away and a lot of patience to get to the current stable state. Their service tech are nice but clueless, and they often lie without checking into details. At the end, we have to use my own video recording and work with a competent engineer remotely to find out that the MCU is faulty, and Tesla agrees to replace with a new MCU unit to fix the problem. I don't know why, but when I read MCU, I think of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For several other small problems, Tesla either fails to order parts or show up with wrong parts. They never call us back for many promises they made. If Tesla continues to operate the service in this way, it will lose customers' confidence. And that's a big issue, okay? Now, there's good reviews and there's bad reviews here, all right? But a common theme with the bad reviews, I'll let you know in a bit. The paperwork Tesla sent to the DMV mistakenly listed the purchase as financed through my credit union, despite 3 pre-delivery phone calls from Tesla where I confirmed I would pay cash. Tesla refused to cover the additional $93 for the new title fee. Are you kidding me? They refused to let you off by $93? They weren't like, oh, sorry, my mistake. You got a bad review over $93, Elon. Your company got a bad review over $93 goddamn dollars. Next. I'm pro-EV and I'm sorry I bought this car. It's very clear that Tesla's attempt to mass market cars is resulting in them skipping on quality and rushing. Car has been in for service almost as much as I've had it. There are still problems like water entering the trunk and a weird white residue it leaves on my garage. Tesla has a 2-month wait just to look at it. Are you kidding me? A 2-month wait to look at it? This is not worth it. I would sell this, but I feel bad putting it on another buyer. That's a pretty harsh one. You don't want to sell it just because you feel bad that someone else is going to be stuck with this headache. We'll be looking into lemon law soon. Alright, there's obviously good ones. This guy says he bought his Model 3 in January of 2018. He's driven over 20,000 miles. Performed very well for him. You know, the autopilot feature makes long drives much more relaxing since it follows along with traffic and advises me when to change lanes for passing. So there are good and bad reviews. But then there's reviews like this where I was so excited to get the car. I really love driving it. However, I had issues with the car 2 weeks after I got it. 1, condensation in rear lights. 2, driver door motor broken. Change port not functioning properly. It took almost 3 weeks of service to get these issues resolved. Remember, I only had the car for 2 weeks. This is where it gets really bad. I got into an accident on September 30th, 2018. It is now January 28, 2019. I still do not have my car. And then another review is like, much like the others, love the car, but the experience of the purchase and everything since has been a disgrace. Tesla promised delivery by 12/31 for a rebate. On December 26, admitted they screwed up the VIN number and we would not get the car on time. Offered to rent a car if we wanted to drive to Mount Kisco, New York to pick it up. I was told to be on time. We were there by 1:30 p.m. and sat and were ignored. Total joke. We finally got the car around 4:30 p.m. To say we were angry was an understatement. Best was getting car with only 130 miles of charge, and we live over 300 miles away, and by then it was dark out. Would recommend to no one. Then get home. Wait weeks for home charger, get it installed and it does not work. I have spent days trying to get any human to pick up phone or answer emails. Disgraceful. I am still waiting. Have to drive 25 minutes to supercharger in areas as I do not live in a big city like others. I do like the car but would not recommend Tesla to anyone. So those were some bad reviews. Obviously, there's some good reviews in there. For the sake of this video, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of favorited the bad reviews. And the reason is because if you've ever watched this guy, Rich Rebuilds, now I never heard of this guy, but I saw his Tesla video on one of my recommended, okay? And I watched his video, and let me tell you, this guy did a great job on this video, and Tesla did an absolutely horrendous job. The first video he has is, "Where the hell is my car? What did you do with my Tesla, Elon?" Okay, now this is a huge saga. I think he has maybe 4 or 5 videos that go on talking about him trying to get his car. You know, I could talk about these videos for probably the next half an hour plus, but it's just an absolute disaster. And what those reviews were saying sounded a lot like his situation. So I have a feeling those people aren't lying or anything. That's what actually happened to them. I don't think they're just making this stuff up. I think people genuinely are cheering for Tesla. I know I'm deep down cheering for Tesla, okay? I don't want them to fail. I don't like when companies fail personally, and I don't want Tesla to fail because they've disrupted the car market, and I like what they're doing, and I think their cars are really cool, actually. I still, you know, every time I see a Tesla, go, oh, look, a Tesla. They still have that aurora to them, and they have to keep that to them, okay? But when you start putting a bad taste in these brand new customers' mouth, that is not a good thing, man. And that's what worries me about this company, is that you're finally getting to the mass market. You're finally selling to all the people you couldn't sell to before. And you sell to them, and you sell them a piece of crap. That is the issue that I'm worried about. So forget about the cash issues and Elon Musk. If you don't got service and you don't got quality, kiss this company goodbye. See you later. Sayonara. It's a goodbye, okay? So Elon Musk, Tesla, you better get this stuff figured out before you start really pumping these cars out, okay? Because I'm worried for everyone who buys a Tesla. I really hope it works out for them. But man, I'm telling you deep down, if they just keep making cars in a goddamn tent, it's gonna get bad. An interesting part from that guy Rich Rebuilds video, he mentioned that Tesla has an inspection, okay? He asked what they inspect. Guess what? They wouldn't tell him. Why wouldn't you tell them what they inspect? He contacted BMW and asked them for a report of what they inspect. They emailed it right to him. No issues, no nothing. Just here, take it. That's what we inspect. What do we have to hide? No. He said he doesn't think a brand new Tesla would pass BMW's inspection of a used car. Okay? That's a big statement right there. Now, he has a Tesla he liked and everything. Obviously, he got the car and turned out to be a cold day, and the car iced up and he couldn't get in, so he had to ride a scooter. Now, I live in Toronto, Canada. It's pretty cold here. I think today it was minus 10 degrees Celsius. We've had frost for the past few days, okay? So all the cars were frozen. You have to scrape off. If you can't get into your goddamn car, it's pretty useless. So Tesla, you got to figure that out too. Are you only selling to people in California, or are you selling to people in New York too? People in California might be fine, but the people in New York and you know, other states like that are gonna get cold weather. And here in Canada, Tesla's pretty popular too. I see them pretty often. Maybe the people always park it inside and they're fine, but even when you go to work, you park your car outside, you're screwed. Man, you guys gotta get your stuff figured out. And waiting 2 weeks, waiting 2 months just to have someone look at your car, that's a joke. That's an absolute joke. I have an Audi. If I call them, I could be in there tomorrow if I want, probably. They're super quick. They have one of the best services, in my opinion. I've never dealt with Tesla, but they treat me well. And I don't know how Tesla treats their people, but apparently not well, and it's just a whole debacle. If you want to look into this more, you can, but my take on Tesla is the company really needs to get their service and quality down before they start pumping out all these cars. I'm really worried for them. I know they're pumping out these cars to try and get that cash pile up, and I hope them the best. I mean, I'd still stay away from this stock. I wouldn't want to play with this stock. But if they can get all this stuff figured out, there's no reason the stock shouldn't double easily. And I think the stock should be worth more if it weren't for Elon Musk and possibly all of these issues. So I am a believer in Tesla as much as I just kind of bashed it. I don't hold the stock or anything like that. It's too speculative for me personally, and there's too much drama around the stock. But if you're holding it long term, I think you should be okay. But guys, these are issues that you have to be aware of. I know Jeremy from the Financial Education is an absolute huge bull of Tesla, and he gets me pumped up. Sometimes I watch his videos and I'm like, damn, Tesla's amazing. And then I snap back to reality and I go, you know, I have to remember that he is a Tesla shareholder, and I know he's a very strong bull in Tesla. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. that would be super appreciated. Anyways, guys, until next time, see you later and have an absolutely great, fantastic, amazing day.